Hi, my name is Sheila. I am doing my interpersonal communication project through Liberty University in the classroom HSER 508. If you turn to slide 2, my introduction, Richard Bernstein states that the phrase to conduct a dialogue is misleading. It is more accurate to say that we, the partners, participate in or fall into a dialogue or a conversation. Having taken this course, I realized just what that statement means. That the simplest communication or conversation can be totally taken a different way. According to not only what we say, but how we say it, when we say it, how we move our bodies when we say it. It involves cultural background, life experience, and exhaling and inhaling, and both people's concern. It also involves being able to control the noise pollution when attempting to carry on a productive conversation. Slide 3, my background in behavioral blends. I was raised in a family of 8 children in Louisiana in the 60s. I was the second oldest, but the oldest at home, and it was not easy. I was expected to be a big sister and a mother to my youngest siblings because my parents were seldom at home. Yet I was told children should be seen and not heard, and stay in a child's place. My parents expected me to do as I was told and keep my mouth shut. I did that. It wasn't until I got to be a teenager and started spending more time with my grandmother that I learned my opinion mattered to someone, and that was my grandmother. She would relay her thoughts, and I listened to mine, and we would come to a decision that pleased both of us. I knew this was a profound impact on my life, but never knew why until now. I feel if she had taken the DISC test, she would have had a high CID because she was a very classy lady to me. Slide 4. My overarching goal is to be able to communicate successfully with my peers, supervisor, friends, and family members, and possible future clients. To be able to tell them when I am being flat-brained, or the person I may be having a conversation with is, and to be able to handle the situation in a correct manner so that the conversation is more of a communication. As Stewart says, a successful communication involves people's ability to continuously connect to each other rather than distribution of ideas back and forth. I want to be able to hear what the person is saying rather than planning my rebuttal and or zoning out when the person is talking to me or interrupting them to try and get my point across as I normally do. Because as Janet McCollum states, a cultural conversation focuses on dialogue, not debate. Dialogue is collaborative. Multiple sides work towards sharing understanding. Debate is oppositional. Two sides try to prove each other wrong. And this is what I'm trying to change in my life. Having dialogue instead of debating. Slide 5. My potential barriers in dealing with each. I look at my DISC score. I am a CS. I don't always get that nonverbal cue. I don't always get the message behind the message. And when I do, sometimes it's too late and the damage has been done. I feel I need to spend more time focusing, not just on what is said, but how it is said. I need to keep the Lord's word in my head when he says, be diligent and wait on him. I guess after not being heard for most of my young life, I'm overly eager to get my message across. I also need to work on my head talk. Because sometimes I say things my stomach know I should not say it. But it comes out anyway, and I regret it later. I really been working on it since taking this course. Being able to think before I say something, letting my stomach, heart, and brain work together. I feel that using the TLC cards as talked about by Peterson is a very good way to moderate a conversation and open doors to more effective conversation when there is an issue to be discussed that me and another person may be having trouble with taking turns. It could be something I could use actually for myself as a constant reminder to listen, then talk. Slide 6, the continuation to my potential barriers. And another barrier is improving my perception, reception, attention. That's a biggie for me. Listening Burley says, listening is a highly selective, subjective experience. Information that conflicts with the listener's present ideas and beliefs may simply be tuned out. When the subject don't interest me, not only when I am listening, but reading or watching TV, I have been trying to keep myself focused on what is being said to me. I have tried summarizing what the person says, not only so they know I'm listening, but to make sure I stay focused. I mostly agree with my CS score when I say that I am passive, when it says that I'm passive, more passive than active. But I'm not much of a follower. It's weird that it says that I should strive to be a CIS though, because CIS says you should be more passive than active. And reading the CIS, it actually seems to describe me better than the CS, except I'm not very active. But I do however, rub people the wrong way sometimes. Slide 7. I have noticed the noise pollution before that distracts me from listening to others, but had not put it into such a way as to think of it as external and internal problems. And that, as said in Burley Allen, they can have to do with child experiences, formal training, psychological limitations, and socialized attitudes. As I stated earlier, I was only stroked negatively by my parents, but later, when my grandmother listened to me, I was stroked in a positive way. I do realize now that I tend to send a lot of non-verbal clues when someone is saying or doing something that does not interest me, such as looking out the window or at something in the room, watching the time, fiddling with my cell phone, and tapping my fingers or feet. I have been trying to change that by trying to focus on what the person is saying, making eye contact, and focusing on the key words that may cause me to be distracted by the conversation and not allowing them to do so. Slide 8, in conclusion, my hope is that through prayer and asking God to give me the wisdom to be able to not be flat-brained, to pay more attention to others and their concerns, and be able to maintain focus on what comes out of my mouth. And when my turn is to talk, and in certain situations, being able to know when someone else is being flat-brained, and do as Peterson says and use both hands and other methods he stated in his book. I also pray that God helps me to open my mind and listen more to what others have to say and be able to help them through their situation in a way that will help them grow as well as myself. To end, I love the poem on page 45, which concluded with swallow hard, gulp it down, and do the double reverse twist.